Well, let's get this rolling. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Gigabyte Dota Masters Tournament. I'm Triumph Man. Casting with me is Gods from Absolute Legends. And right now, we've got SpaceMonkeys on the Radiant. They're up against StarsBoba on the Die. Now, I think that SpaceMonkeys are probably going to go down to StarsBoba, but Gods thinks the opposite. Reckons SpaceMonkeys are going to take it out against them, but straight up Gods, like and ban. Not too surprising.
Yeah, it is a hero that has actually been losing non-stop here, but it is still a top hero, and the teams that are letting it through sort of are just ready and prepared to deal with it. It is a very annoying pushing hero here, and yeah, I mean, I think SpaceMonkeys, I mean, they've been playing pretty well. They've had the one loss, I believe, which was to MUFC or someone good. I'm going to go with, but I think they could cause a bit of an upset here. We're going to see Chen being banned as well, as SpaceMonkeys do have that first pick, so we'll probably see some of those sort of top picks like the Invoker as well being banned out here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised seeing Chen banned as well, just because Chen is such a good hero in this metagame. And of course, Lycan, Infuse versus AL last night. I hear that Lycan almost won a match and then just threw it in the bin as fast as hard as he possibly could. But Darkseer getting banned as well. But yeah, I mean, this Lycan, I mean, we hear so much, like everybody's so scared of it. Every time we see this Lycan actually slip through the banning pool, lose every time. It seems like a curse. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of just small tweak or something that's making him a little bit different, or just people are just so damn well prepared for him now, just because everybody's really on board with how scary he can be. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure in Dota 1 everybody knew how damn dangerous Lycan was as well, but I honestly think I saw him more in Dota 1. They were allowing him to slip through, and maybe that was just the bigger hero pool that we had back then.
Yeah, things have changed a lot since then, and I definitely think things will sort of I mean, you'll start seeing, I mean, heroes like Lycan getting some play. They're not always going to be able to be banned, as some teams just maybe not going to be scared of him. We saw AL letting him through, although they almost did pay the price. I feel like they should have lost that game. I'll repeatedly say AL did not win that game. Infuse lost that game. As Anti-Mage as well, another hard carry being banned out, sort of limiting the hard carry potential. Morphling has been fairly popular throughout the turn. I doubt also that being banned, and that's a hero I think SpaceMonkeys may want to pick up here.
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't mind seeing a Batrider. I think he's really very underutilized in general, and we've only seen him in a couple of games so far. Has done alright whenever we've seen him. Has done a good job in locking stuff down, but one more ban here. For the Radiant side, are they going to knock off another pusher? We've still got the Brewmaster on the board. They do have the first pick, though. They might say, well, you know what, we'll leave him on the board, and it's up to you, StarsBoba. If you don't ban him, we'll take him. But we'll see what they decide to go with. Looks like they're just going to go to overtime. Think about this one very, very carefully. As
yeah.
Somebody's asking, did DK play against Orange last night?
No, DK played against Mith.trust last night. That was for Group A, and it was a fairly one-sided game. Spoiler alert, DK still looking very, very strong and hard to beat. As Panda Brewmaster, the last ban coming out from SpaceMonkeys, and we're going to see just what StarsBoba want to make sure they get rid of here. Invoker's still in the pool, so is the Prophet, as well as some sort of strong heroes, some top picks such as Winrun as well.
Yeah, Winrun is very common, just because she's so damn versatile, can do anything, doesn't tip your hand. And, well, I mean, she's just, like, her shackle shot mid-game, just so good, especially if you can lock down the right heroes. Just waiting now, we've got one more ban, and then we can go straight into the pick. So, obviously, it looks like that basically SpaceMonkeys are like, alright, well, we're probably not going to use the Brewmaster straight, we're not going to first pick him, we don't really want him all that much, so we will just make sure we get him off the board so you can, but there we go, Nature's Prophet getting taken off. They wanted the Invoker, that's what they wanted to burn their first pick on, and we've seen some really good Invokers, we've seen some pretty damn good Invoker play, but the question is whether or not, I mean, we've seen Exort, we've seen the Exort builds, and we've still seen the Wex and Quace builds in this game as well, so, in this tournament as well, so he's definitely providing a very versatile toolbox for teams to call upon, but I don't know. Honestly, we'll see how he does. I do prefer the Exalt build. I do find it just more fun to watch in action. But of course, against fast pushers, having the Quace and Wex up is very, very powerful. Just being able to drop these EMPs and tornadoes.
Yeah, most Invokers have been going for the Exort builds, going for the early sort of Sunstrike to help gank those side lanes, the Cold Snap, as well as sort of the mid game. You have the Forward Spirits to help you push and deal with some tanky heroes that teams sort of start picking up more and more as of late. But we'll have to see what SpaceMonkeys want to do. I do think the Quaz Wex build is still very, very strong. That tornado with the rain you get from it, it's just, it's a bit ridiculous. It goes like 2 or 3 screens link, and StarsBoba going to go with the Winrun here, and we're going to see what else they want to pick up. Maybe Earthshaker. Earthshaker has been seeing a lot of action here in the Gigabyte Dota Masters.
Yes, he has. I mean, they've done him like people have been using him very, very effective. We've seen a couple of mishaps. Only a couple. I would say we've seen mostly the fissures have been generally effective. Only a couple of mishaps with the blocks where they accidentally kill themselves / teammates. But Queen of Pain, the next pick here, of course, she's actually been pretty damn popular in this tournament. The Queen of Boob. She has been very, very. Well, then again, I mean, we've seen Dustbin player and the never Mr. Swish trying to replicate his legendary streaks that he does with Wretched Hag and Heroes New. Hasn't managed to pull it off. Generally winds up dying a lot, sadly. Although I'm not sure if that's just because the other team spends a lot of time focusing down rather than miss players per se. But overall, Queen of Pain has been very, very strong. Of course, we've generally seen her go for the Shadow Strike builds and just delay her ultimate. Have seen a couple of teams where they're really behind. They do pick up that ultimate level 6 just because they really feel like they need that firepower right here, right now.
Yeah, last night, I mean, Mushi played a Queen of Pain when they were up against LGD, and he just got ridiculously farmed. I mean, he actually went for like a Battle Queen of Pain build, going for like a Lincoln's Manta style, and Lincoln's Manta style, and I think it was like a MKB or something in the end. Simply because Orange didn't have any late game DPS. Their other sort of semi carry was a Windrunner, and late game LGD just had too much firepower. So Mushi said, "Screw this! I'm going DPS." As we're going to see what StarsBoba want to do with it. And Crystal Maiden and Time coming up for SpaceMonkeys, two fairly standard picks. Although we really have not seen much Tidehunter at all, I feel. That's one hero that these Asian teams haven't been picking up, that the European teams have been using non-stop.
I agree, he's definitely a strong hero, but one thing does bother me. Like you said before, he's slightly over it just because Ravage. It's pretty much, if you screw up the Ravage, or if the other team outplay or make you whiff your Ravage, it is a very, very sharp drop in effectiveness from there. And I honestly feel that one missed Ravage can basically cost people games, particularly towards about the 35, 38 minute mark. It can just mean it can be absolute death, especially if Tidehunter was one of your farming heroes. Of course, he does get used in that brawler role. We've got the Earthshaker being banned. He's been banned fairly frequently, or picked fairly frequently. I don't know whether or not they're going to run Tidehunter as a support here. He can do well as a support, just because, and especially when you pair him up with something like Crystal Maiden's a very, very dangerous pair that can sort of roam around course control. Although Morphling getting banned, I don't think that's much of a shock, just considering how well these Asian teams have done with Morphling and how much they love him too.
Oh man, Morphling is one of those heroes. Once you get into a late game scenario, if Morphling has some backup coming from his team, he becomes almost unstoppable. We've seen it just out carry next to every other hero in the pool here. As not at all surprised to get banned, and it's a hero that can have that early game presence and be put in a strong duel or trial lane, especially with the CM. I mean, initially the Morphling was picked up as a dual lane with the CM that I think it went back when Ghosty ran as a dual lane mid, although as of late, teams just putting it in that safe lane, getting out the farm, going for the quick link into an Ethereal Blade to that shotgun morph, and it's just been a bit devastating. So yeah, not at all surprised to get banned. It is probably one of the strongest carries left in the pool. I mean, leaving heroes like Mirana, Rookie, sort of these less deadly heroes, but ones that do have sort of a lot more killing power in the mid game, and aren't as item dependent as a hero like Morphling.
I noticed Sinacel is freaking out because I said Wretched Hag. Dude, it is relevant. Dustbin, who are playing this tournament, they are a Heroes of New Earth team. They're very well known in Heroes of New Earth because they were a very strong team back there. And particularly one of their players, Mr. Swish, was a extremely strong Wretched Hag player. But coming over to Dota 2, he hasn't been able to replicate that success with the Queen of Pain. And obviously they are different heroes, but they're relatively similar enough that you'd think he'd be able to at least cause a little damage. But mostly, Dustbin, when they played that, like Mr. Swish, he's just been dying repeatedly during the games. Shadow Demon, Weaver being banned as well as that Sankey. Ooh, alright, so I'm just looking at a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, banning out those stunners. They've got the Tidehunter themselves, so I guess they just want to deny StarsBoba picking up any of those big AoE stunners to use as an initiation, so they want to make sure they have the big team fight going their way. With the Tidehunter, I mean, they may be looking to use that with an Invoker, so maybe there's going to be a Tornado EMP Invoker to back up that Ravage. So far, I mean, I definitely think SpaceMonkeys need some kind of right-click DPS, which we are currently seeing so far StarsBoba banning out, so maybe we're going to see something like the Mirana here, or they may just go for some sort of more mid-game sort of pressure kind of heroes like Pugna we've seen being used quite frequently, DK as well. I feel like DK could give them some nice pressure power.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I honestly would like to see Ricky, just because we haven't seen a Ricky in a little while. I still feel he's a very viable hero. Although in this case, maybe not so much, just because, like we saw, if he doesn't have that much lane control, And if they sacrifice lane control, it could be a little bit of trouble. Mirana has been picked up now. Very definitely, very, very strong here. And I noticed someone on Reddit. Saying, you know, why isn't Mirana picked in competitive play? I'm like, no, she does. In fact, I link. So look, check out this video. This is Absolute Legends versus Mith.trust. And here is a Mirana being played in competitive play. And then instantly the downvotes come. Like, I'm just being helpful. And this is why I hate Reddit.
Check out like every second. Yeah, just check out every second Absolute Legends competitive match. There's a Mirana being played by Bleak.
But yeah, I know. It's just like, you know, you show the proof. It's just downvote. Shut up. Shut up. Screw your logic. Screw your proof. Religion. No, I shouldn't say that. We'll get people mad at me right now. So, well, it's now back over in the Dyer's camp. They could do with another support, to be honest, unless they plan to run the Windrunner as a support, which she can do it, but I would like to. There we go. Vengeful Spirit being picked up. Definitely a very strong hero. I'm wondering if she might even be given. We've seen this a few times. She's been giving a little bit of farm, just so she can just tank up a bit. But in this case, I don't think so. It's generally the pet lineups we saw it. When people had a lot of summons, they'd do it. But in this case, it doesn't really look like it's as viable. So I think she'll probably be the hard support, and they'll give Shadow Demon any extra farm that they can cram out.
Yeah, probably, yeah, I definitely agree with that. At the same time, I think Shadow Demon can be effective without any farm at all. It's one of those heroes that you can just sit back, and when your opponents go in, whoever they try to focus, you just use that disruption in a defensive to just keep them alive. You put them into the ground, and then suddenly the other team can't take them out of the fight, and we are going to see Tiny being the last pick here. Ooh. This is going to be where sort of SpaceMonkeys' main firepower is going to be coming from, I feel, in the early to mid-game.
I seem to remember we saw a Tiny tri-lane earlier in this tournament, or that might have been Pro Dota 2 that were casting. They've sort of melded together for me, and I can't separate them on memory. But I am kind of hoping that we'll see this Tiny get given levels, because it was kind of sad to he was just falling behind on levels, just didn't really get as effective as he wanted to be. So hopefully he'll get some kind of solo lane, because I mean, even if they decide to run a dual lane, or even a tri-lane, because I've seen this before, back casting Dota 1, there were actually Invoker tri-lanes. I haven't seen this in Dota 2, I have not seen a Invoker tri-lane get busted out in Dota 2, but it definitely did occur sometimes. It wasn't that common, but it did occur sometimes in the Dota 1 casts, well, Dota 1 matches that I did cast. But that was more, I believe that was more for the European team. We were casting some of the Euro teams for that.
Yeah.
But in this case, I mean, Mirana could fall into a solo, because she used to get used so much as a suicide solo, but as Windrunner has become a much bigger favourite for that. But of course, the late pick with Mirana, because Windrunner has been snapped up first, so maybe she will be a suicide solo, but I almost think that actually it might be Invoker trying to survive his lane, trying to survive the long lane, just having access to Ghostwalk as well as dropping Sunstroke, probably have the Tiny in mid, and then have an possibly an offensive try-in with Roamers, with Mirana just try and set up those big arrows.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Provide a nice little setup for those arrows from Mirana. We'll have to wait and see just how StarsBoba will be dealing with that. As quick pause coming up from StarsBoba. Yeah, they've got. I definitely agree. Shadow Demon, Vengeful Spirit will be the two supports here. Windrunner likely be in that sideline solo. Queen and Pain can go mid. DK probably going to be in the safe lane, trying to get up that farm. As meanwhile on the Radiant team, wondering, it looks like it will, yeah, Tide will be played as a support here, so maybe not going to go for the Anchor Smash build, probably going to be going for that Gush.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the gumption to get, it doesn't really want to be all that much in the middle of the fight, plus if he's roaming, just the Gush is a little bit more effective for those early ganks. The extra negative armor is nice, and the range on it, of course, because, especially if you know he's late on boots and stuff. But, of course, when he is farming, Anchor Smash just so damn good for that, as well as pushing down towers. Like, just, you get left alone, you can just nuke down those creep waves really, really quickly. It's a pause from StarsBoba. I wonder what's wrong on their end, but I'm just gonna... I've just noticed the Tidehunter's name. I think I'm pregnant. I think I'm pregnant. Brilliant. Brilliant. And Mirana, I remember this. Mirana, no more R-rated names. I don't know if somebody yelled at him.
Clanton has changed his name.
Thank you, Clanton. Making things terribly awkward. Terribly awkward. In fact, while we're waiting, let's bring up his Steam profile. Show off his awesome hair again. I know people have been...
He's probably gotten rid of it just because...
No, it's there. It's there. There's Clanton's awesome hair. Just because, you know, everybody loves to comment on my hair in the stream chat, so we'll bring up Clanton's hair just to draw.
Any of these, I'm gonna have a look at some of these other Steam pros, but if I see any more cool hairs, I'll let you know.
Okay. Chris Maiden, Invoker. Oh, he hasn't picked anything yet. Did StarsBoba happen to say what the problem was? No, just wait, please.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. We'll have to wait and see as we're close to starting on time. We're close. Tonight we've got a fairly relaxed schedule. I think there's 3 matches to be broadcast tonight. As we have got one, which 2 games that will be on at the same time, but we'll be getting a hands onto the replay a bit later. But we will have StarsBoba versus SpaceMonkeys, SQL Sequential Gaming up against Dustbin, which should be, I reckon, a very close game, and then Aeon up against DK. That's probably the match most people are looking forward to here tonight.
And of course, guys, just a reminder to everybody who's watching, I am experimenting with some different things. Actually, God's sending me over here. So, alright, let's copy paste yours, see what we can have happen. Now, the stream is stable, I know this much. I have been testing it earlier tonight. So at the very least, I know it's stable and it's not going to crash on you. But what I want to know is the quality-wise, is this better or worse than before? Do you prefer what we've got up on the screen now? Or do you prefer, this is for people watching 720p. If you're watching 240p, then it's alright. Not too interested in that just because it isn't going to be a huge shift in quality. But it's definitely, I want to hear from anybody watching 720p after tonight's games, whether or not the quality is better for you. Find the picture is clearer than it was before. Now, Voka looks like, he's gone, it looks like he'll be going Quace-Wex, just because he's grabbed up those at Blaze of Attack. And because when you go Quace-Wex, is you will be suffering from a little bit of a lack in base damage, which hurts a little bit. But the Blaze of Attack helps mitigate that. But when we see Dendy busting out his Exhort Invoke, just because he gets all that extra damage from Exhort, because you know what, I can start off with stats and just be a little bit more resilient in that regard. But Crystal Maiden and Titan are rolling bottom with a tiny. It will be a suicide solo Mirana. Alright, Clanton deciding he's going to be the big man here, and he will be taking the hard lane for his team.
Yeah, that's not quite what I would have kind of expected from them using that. We're going to see Mirana at top. We are going to see that Trylon at bottom with the Tiny. So yeah, no Tiny solo middle. Invoker is going to be at the mid lane, played by Dan. I believe he played Invoker in one of their last 2 games. I remember talking a bit about his Invoker, as we're going to see Trylon versus Trylon at bottom. The Shadow Demon, Vengeful Spirit, and Windrunner. That is triple ranged heroes up against the CM Tiny Titan in the lane, 2 melee heroes. So definitely think the Dire team will have a slight advantage here.
Yeah, I think that the Dire team do have that better range. On the other hand, I am a little worried about the nuke potential, just because the Shadow Demon doesn't have that much burst, whereas there's a fair amount of burst on the Radiant side, provided they can keep their mana up. Obviously, Tiny and Titan are going to burn through their mana relatively a lot faster than Crystal Maiden is, and just the Dire team in general, the only one there that's really going to have to worry about watching their mana pool a lot is going to be Vengeful Spirit. She's going to have enough for a couple of stuns, but they're going to try and jump this Titan maybe. Titan walking into the 2 Dire guys, does get suffer a couple of auto attacks. There is the Banish power shot coming through slightly too early. The stuns go out though from the Radiant side, and this looks like Vengeful Spirit is in some serious trouble, taking a lot of damage. Couple more auto attacks from Crystal Maiden, and she is going to go down. Looks like she might sneak away though. Of course, CM very, very slow to begin with, only 280 movement speed. Let's see another. Oh, that slows might be enough. Black Moon instant trouble. He will go down. One more hit. He does go down. There's the first blood. That gank backfiring hard. So much damage being stacked on Vengeful Spirit. Gonna probably. Oh, she's only got tangos, and then losing the first blood on top of that. That's like almost as bad as losing the 2 heroes.
Yeah, 2 heroes getting really punished there. We're going to see some D-warding coming out from SpaceMonkeys as well, just so they can use this creep pull. I don't think that sentry will block the pull. We'll have to wait and see, as it is. Actually, no, he did block the pull with that sentry, so he's going to have to wait for the sentry to expire. They do expire faster than observer wards, but it is a slightly misplaced sentry ward. But this Trylon at bottom, they're going to be very happy with the start they've gotten. And mid lane, Invoker against DK, we're going to see quite a bit of harass coming out on the DK, especially with this quick Blades of Attack build, and going to be going straight for that cold snap.
Oh yeah, it can cause a ton of damage. We see Invoker just not really care if he gets counter-harassed too much, just because the extra those levels in Quace are going to give him a fair amount of regen, going to make him relatively resilient. Tidehunter now, just countering this bottom ward. Good work from them to Smart, making sure they can get him behind a lot more easy. And this will just mean that StarsBoba really have to watch their back, because they've got some really dangerous heroes up against them. Mirana though, 1v1 against the Queen of Pain, I'm going to say kind of even here. And I don't think Queen of Pain's going to be that well served by going for the Shadow Strike build, just because she's not going to be able to get that close that often to the Mirana.
Yeah, it is one of those series where you do have to play sort of fairly far back. You can't just walk up to Mirana. You are going to take quite a few right clicks there. But I think Queen of Pain, I mean, you have got the Scream to use to help you last hit, and you have got slightly better attack animation. Should be doing okay here. As actually at the moment Mirana is leading last hit. They are going to trade hits, and there you can see Queen of Pain taking a lot more damage than that Mirana when they trade hits, simply because of that Mirana 600 ranged attack and having to walk really nice and close to get the Shadow Strike off.
It is quite painful for her. That's I think I'm saying this right. Batao. I think it's Batao. Yeah, he is suffering quite a bit. And he doesn't have any. Oh, he went for maxing out the went for double tangos rather than grabbing a pot in there. Wanted his Iron Barrage as fast so he can basically make his magic wand as fast as possible, I guess. And the extra stats are always nice. But in this case, he is suffering a bit. I mean, if Mirana lands a good arrow here, he could well go down once she hits her next level. Assuming I would assume she's going to max stuff first. She's not going to do something silly like me, max stats and leave just because I can. But this bottom lane, though, it seems like both teams are very wary of the amount of disable and firepower both sides are packing. They're being relatively passive, although actually I say that. Vengeful Spirit tries to man up and sort of threatens Tiny to scare him off. Cops a couple of hits in the face there.
Yeah, Tiny's the one who has to sort of... He's going to be in the front lane. He's the one that they want him getting the farm up. So whenever he goes in for the last hits, he has to make sure he's not going to be taking too much damage. And that CM Tide are right by him, ready to go in if he does get a disruption or something. And there's a disruption. They're going to look to back it up. I don't think they can kill him, though. They're going to see a stun forward up. But yeah, Tiny only getting down about half HP. And Windrunner going to be the one taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have the Windrun yet. The toss from Tiny will get the kill. Another failed attempt at a gank there from StarsBoba on this bottom lane.
And I mean, this is exactly what I was worried about. Just they do not have the burst that's on the Radiant side. That they have the better initiative. So they got the jump on Tiny, but again, just that burst. And I mean, they got the jump straight up at first time as well. Just didn't have that damage. And then you've got all these great disables, all of these big nukes coming from the Radiant side, and it is enough to drop these squishy heroes. So it's definitely bothering me just a bit. And again, Queen of Pain, Mirana trading hits. Mirana has gone for the quick Bassi. Queen of Pain has got about 800 gold stored up. What's Mirana got? She's also got about 500.
I tell you what, in a lane like this, going for that quick bottle, even being in the side lane, the bottle is just still so strong an item as you get both the HP and the mana regen. And every now, maybe you're not going to get a rune every 2 minutes, but maybe every 6 minutes or so you get a rune, and that can really help you out. As I definitely think both Mirana and Queen of Pain could really benefit from the bottle, but Queen of Pain is just going to go for that Ring of Health, and we'll have to see how that does help her. As bottom lane, I'm sure, is where all the action is going to be still happening.
Yes, definitely. It looks like, yeah, mid lane. In fact, are they the courier? Where is that headed? Is it trying to crow? It might try to be crowing the bottle. There was a smoke gank though from the dive side. They decided, you know what? Okay, this is not really working. We're going to leave Windrun. Just let her try and get some levels and see if we can put some pressure on this Invoker and open up DK's farm just a little bit. DK currently sitting on 13-5. He is definitely falling behind us here. So Invoker 20-10, doing a little bit better here. Jessica's struggling just a bit, which I mean, fair enough. He is going to be under a lot of pressure from this Invoker. Invoker is pretty much free to do whatever the hell he wants. They're good flame breath here, and they're going to dive in on the Invoker. He doesn't have any escape mechanisms ready here.
Should be able to Ghost Walk.
Oh, he is. Oh, he does. I lied.
But so he's going for the Quas Wek, so he can go to the Ghost Walk. He only just had enough mana to use it. It does use up 200 mana, but he can just heal up. Look how much he's regenning with all that Quas. And he's going to just continue to lane here, and that's a lot of wasted time for StarsBoba. They're trialing coming all the way mid, not getting a kill, and going to head back bottom with their heads down in shame, as they are going to run into the Titan and the CM. CM with a DD rune needs to be careful. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think I miscounted there. I didn't think he had enough mana to invoke and then Ghost Walk, so my bad there. Windrunner being left to our own device now. Both of them, I mean, I think this is smart from the Radiant side. They go, alright, well, we don't need to be here all this much. Tiny can sort of do okay on his own. Just let him get levels. He doesn't want to fall behind the levels. Does need to keep his Wombo combo up and leveled up. As we see the Gush go down on the Vengeance Switch. She's in some trouble. Drops her own stun. Here comes the Frostbite catching the Anchor Smash as well. Invoker's coming if necessary. He's not needed. And he might be able to get the double kill here as well. Get the second one. There is the Cold Snap. Shadow Demon also going to go down. Great result for the Radiant. Dodging that initial gank, wasting the support's time, and then getting a double kill on them. That's really going to make it, well, basically cause a huge setback for them. Yeah, and that fast phase boots on this Invoker really helping him out. And now the Tide, the CM, just coming back to bottom lane, going to continue to put pressure on. Windrunner has now got the level 1 Windrunner. That's going to give her a bit more survivability. Doesn't have boots yet, and this Tiny, up to 550 gold, going to probably go for the quick arcane boots here, just to help out that trial lane as much as possible. As there we see CM just looking to sort of poke forward and try and be as aggressive as possible. So keep the farm up top. Clan and Mirana is sitting on 23 and 12. Pretty close there for Queen of Pain. She's on 21 and 8, so they're relatively evenly matched at the moment. Crystal Maiden has just brought out some more wards, of course. The 6-minute mark has just passed, and they're ready to pop down those, pop the wards back down. Tidehunter very low. Looking a little poor at the moment. He is saving up though. He's saving up. Not bothering the boots. Might be. I don't know if he's just trying to get the fast arcanes or something there.
I mean, I imagine he will pick up boots and the magic wands here, but I mean, he could just go straight for the energy booster if he wants to boost up that mana pool. But right now, he's sitting on full mana. Tiny probably going to get some mana boots himself, so I think he's just waiting to get to that science shop, which right now is a bit sort of out of reach because of these dire heroes in this bottom lane. There's a gank on mid. Tornado goes down. CM is there. DK should drop. There's the Crystal Nova. Couple more right clicks with a Frostbite. Easy kill there for for CM. CM's actually on a dominating streak.
Yeah, good thing I didn't drop tankers on this match, Hayes. I did call StarsBoba looking strong to win this one, and it looks like I may be mistaken. SpaceMonkeys looking really fine in these opening moments of the match. They've currently got a 1,500 gold lead. Not much to write home about. But hey, it's always nice to have, and getting that gank on the DK, fantastic. They're really just setting up those kills, and right now, the StarsBoba trialing is just not working out all that well. And like I said, I was worried about that burst damage potential, and it is causing him to suffer just a little bit, I think, against his really aggressive, really powerful trialing on the Radiant side. And now the supports are back, although Crystal Maiden a little lower mana, only has... Oh wow, she's actually going for the really... This is kind of old school. I haven't seen this build in a while, where they max the Brilliance Aura first.
Yeah. I like it with this lineup because they've got the Tiny and the Tide. These are two very low mana pool heroes who need their... I mean, Tiny needs his combo. Tide needs to have the mana for the Gush. And he is leveling up the Gush, not going with the level 1 Gush into max Anchor Smash. So he's going to be using up a lot of mana every time he uses those Gushes. So, yeah, I think the Brilliant Aura will help out a lot. Is there DK coming in bottom? Not going to get the South, though. He gets fogged in those trees, and StarsBoba not going to catch anyone here by the looks of things, as Tiny is scouted with the Shadow Poison, but it looks like StarsBoba once again wasting a bit of time with some unsuccessful games.
I'm surprised he Dragon Form first instead of stunning first. And yeah, like you said, just CM just went, screw this, fogged, and then ran away. Although maybe he was going for it and the Frostbite interrupted him, and he didn't manage to get the cast off in time before she walked out of range. But DK now returning to the mid lane, has picked up a Bracer. Cold Snap causing a lot of damage. Just took a good 250 health out of his life force there. And down to the bottom lane, Shadow Demon's got his boots. Vengeful Spirit, another smoke ready to go. Did Titan spend his cash? He did get the boots. He did indeed pick up those boots. I see he's also been scattered out by that wave, which are also going to cop some poison to the face. And see him also
top
with
lane.
the boots. Oh.
Top lane, there was almost kill there on the Queen of Pain. Didn't miss anything too much, but Queen of Pain got down to about 50 HP. Mirana and her trading hits. Nice arrow from Mirana, but Mirana has got the quick bottle, finding a haster, and that's really helping Mirana out. Queen of Pain, though, going for the Perseverance is actually not doing all that badly. Up to 36 CS, Mirana with 37. Those two heroes are pretty much neck and neck at the moment.
Yeah, well, neither of them has a huge advantage over the other. I was kind of expecting Mirana to try and make a run for Queen of Pain with that haste room, but she decided not to. I thought she might just try and slip into the jungle unnoticed. There's again that you may have made a mistake. The arrow just smacks her in the face. Queen of Pain did not really think that one through, and that is now a level. Yeah.
Just unlucky timing. The Mirana was going to Starfall, not to hit the Queen of Pain, just to get those creeps, and it was as the Queen of Pain came out, and the Starfall just hit the Queen of Pain. It was a bit unlucky.
And there's the banish on mid. Invoker instant trouble as he gets stunned. He dodges, manages to dodge. The magic missile there does get dusted up, but now he's got Wex on. He is too damn quick. Nobody's going to be able to run him down. He's going to harass Dragon Knight away from the tower. As there is a rune down bottom. There is an illusion rune down bottom, so he can go and grab that one up.
Yeah, and the dust coming after the stun had already been used, so the stun missing and then popping the dust was a bit counterproductive there from the Vengeful Spirit, and StarsBoba now behind by 6 kills. We are going to see them run into some CM illusion in this bottom lane. CM Novak's being popped, and Shadow Demon needs to be careful. He's getting down to about half HP. He's only level 3, same Vengeful Spirit only level 4, so right now Radiant team leading on XP, leading on kills, in a pretty strong position here, though they do have to worry about Queen of Pain. Just a matter of time till Queen of Pain picks up a TP scroll and looks to go on the gank squad.
Yeah, and they don't have that lane ward up there. The arrow does manage to catch Bateau. Bateau in some trouble. We're going to see the Starfall. Doesn't go for the Starfall. Might actually... Oh, I just feel could have leapt in and dropped that. Oh, wow, okay. I mean, fair enough, though. Fair enough. He does, at the very least, chase Queen of Pain back, and he will get a bit of free farm there. Just... I guess he did make the right call. No, he doesn't really have a lot of vision up there. And the supports have been missing, although meanwhile there is a gank on bottom on Windrunner. She does get the Frostbite down. Already managed to toss down the Frostbite and the Crystal Nova. Tiny just comboing there. But yeah, that Mirana could have leapt in there, got the double Starfall, but like we said before, the 2 supports were missing, and I guess she decided, you know what, I don't want to risk it. I just want to play smart, just want to play safe, and I don't want to lose my momentum.
The problem for Queen of Pain is that Queen of Pain did go for the Perseverance, not the bottle, which means once Queen of Pain gets down to 200 HP, it takes a long time for Queen of Pain to heal up, and Queen of Pain cannot go into last hit until until she has HP. Otherwise, the Star will kill her. Mirana going to leap, dodge the Vengeful Spirit Stun, and with that, gank avoided at top lane. More wasted time coming out from StarsBoba, I feel. And yeah, Mirana, I mean, playing well, has gone for those early phase boots. The mobility those will give her will just really make her very difficult to gank.
Yeah, good reactions there from Clanton, just disjoining that stun there, as it looks like Windrunner going to move in, going to just try and CS here in the mid for a bit, feeling the bottom line is just too troublesome. There is a lot of slowdown there, and of course they're very nuclear light, so the Windrunner isn't going to help her all that much. The stun on Deco, though, the double Starfall as well, but he did manage to snag that invis rune. Tornado not quite catching him, although it probably wouldn't have killed him regardless. Vengeful Spirit now supporting the top lane. In fact, it looks like they've just abandoned this bottom and realised, okay, these guys, the supports are too squishy to survive down here. We've got no ward vision at all. Even Windrunner is going to struggle. So they've abandoned it and decided to go elsewhere and try and cause some trouble elsewhere on the map. As Queen of Pain actually gets a kill there on Mirana. Oh, the invisible DK would have set that up with a nice big stun.
Yeah. Yeah, the Queen of Pain baited it well. They were trading hits. Mirana was going to come out on top, but of course the invisible DK was there with a stun right when Mirana thought she was just going to pick up an easy kill again on the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain now up to level 9 as well. It's very high levels. It can go CM Frostbite, Nova, Gosh, not be enough damage. 50 HP or so on Queen of Pain. Needs just one more right click by the looks of it.
Yeah, just barely getting away by the skin of her teeth once again. And I've got to say, if there is anything that's going to keep them in this game, if anything's going to keep StarsBoba in this game, going to turn things around the mid game, it will be Queen of Pain and her nukes, but we'll see if she can bring it. Right now it is looking pretty damn grim for them. They're currently about 3k behind, and they are struggling just a bit. And the main thing is they've just lost complete control of the map, I feel. Like, they've lost this bottom lane. Tiny's is doing whatever the hell they want, and they abandoned it. Whenever this lane is pushed up, they just go, you know what, screw it, I can't handle this lane. As, oh, Vengeful Spirit, she's got boots, so she might be able to outrun them. Tidehunter is naturally faster than her, and there is that range from Sim dropping the slow, the Frostbite as well, and she's definitely going to get taken out here.
And bottom lane, Tiny has picked up a Blink Dagger as well. So
wow.
At just 13 minutes in, he has a Blink Dagger. He can just go in, kill Windrunner or Shadow Demon here. And even in a 1v2 situation, the fact that he can instantly kill one, it's not like, and then it becomes 1v1. Sure, his spells are on cooldown, but it's not like a Shadow Demon can solo kill him. Same goes for the Windrunner if he decides to go on the Shadow Demon. So Tiny could just decide to go in here.
It just doesn't even care about the Shackle, which doesn't latch. Does get initiated on here. But he should be able to get away unless he manages to stack a lot of poison on that Tiny. He's still wandering around, and then does have his magic wand charge up. He might actually... Oh, power shot coming through. It doesn't quite hit him. Oh, he was just... You saw that he was just sitting there trying to sit in some unexpected spot. The Queen of Pain is here, and she jumps in, gets a scream off. And there she is. Is anything is going to keep StarsBoba in this match in the mid game, it will be her. The mid tower, though, going down. The Radiant pushing that down. DK taking a lot of damage once again. Hasn't really been bottle crying. Has just gone, you know what, I just want the bottle. It's just going to hang on, try and keep it filled up with those runes. As Mirana looks like she's scouting for an arrow.
I'm really confused here. Tiny bought his Blink Dagger and then he sold it, I think.
Wait, what?
Does he have? Do you see Blink Dagger in his inventory?
He doesn't, but he's got 2.2k after having a death?
Yes.
What?
No, he must have sold it immediately. I don't know. I don't know whether that's a bug or whether or not he actually decided. He maybe bought the Blink Dagger and decided, like, bottom lane, Invoker, gonna get a couple kills here. Takes out one with the Tornado EMP combo. Now looking for the Vengeful Spirit. In comes Tiny. There's his Blink Dagger. He has bought it.
It must have
I'm not
been
sure where it disappeared.
It was definitely gone. I just checked him, and then I saw it came up a second ago on the feed that he rebought it. So I don't know what the hell happened there. He must have had an accident or something. I don't know, we'll ask him after the match, eh? Try to figure out what.
He might have accidentally sold it right when he bought it, and that way he didn't lose any gold, because you can sell it for a full price if you sell it right away.
But yeah, he definitely had. I was surprised he was standing there letting Windrunner walk. I was like, why isn't he killing her? He could destroy her right now. It was but that would explain it. He didn't have the Blink Dagger. For whatever reason, as the bottom die tower does get taken out, the Tornado goes through, doesn't connect though with Windrunner, and there is now, I think, right about a 5,500 gold lead for the Radiant side. This is looking pretty. They're just building momentum, and I mean, come this late game, they don't even have that sort of that sort of death clock ticking on them, ticking away, saying you've got to try and push down the lanes now or end the game by now because you don't have a late game. Because they've got Mirana, she can scale decently into the late game. Of course, we've seen Bleak cause all sorts of hell with her, and I think Clanton at the moment is doing really, really well. He's got 1,700 gold saved up, is very close to an ultimate orb if he's going for a fast Manta, and has that Aquila up, he's got phase boots up, he's got all these core items up, or his basic items up, ready to go for that first major one.
Yeah, and bottom lane, Invoker just feeling so confident, almost diving on the Windrunner at that tier 2 tower. Invoker is 88 CS, hands the 1 kill, no deaths, 5 assists, and is going for a quick silent stick here by the looks of things. He's already got 2 Oblivion Staffs. He's only a couple hundred gold away from what is going to be a sort of 17-18 minute Orchid and Drum of Endurance with Phase Boots.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty quick Orchid, considering he does have the Phase Boots and the Drum in there, and of course that's going to mean he's got good mobility, and he's not going to be particularly squishy either, because Drums gives really, really nice stats. Possible gank from the Dire side, up on the top lane though. Titan had a little, I think Titan might have spotted, he seems to be very wary. No, he's moving back in, could be in trouble. If we can get the Banish off, here comes the Banish, gonna set things up. Queen of Pain waiting, gonna drop that slow. There's, oh, Tiny blinking, get a wombo combo, Queen of Pain. She goes down. I'm just wondering if that was huge bait there from Iron Break, because he was sort of going, you know what, I think there's trouble up here, and then sort of walked back into it, but Tiny there waiting in the wings, jumping in on top of Queen of Pain and getting that kill. Obviously, if they can shut down Queen of Pain, pretty much StarsBoba's last real hope is going to go out the window.
Yeah, and Queen of Pain going down is really going to hurt them, as we're going to see Tide and Tiny looking for the Shadow Demon at top. Shadow Demon is up to level 6 now, but Tiny, of course, can always just go blinking in, look for that insta-kill, and Shadow Demon does not have the HP to survive that combo.
There he goes!
There we go. Stun. Oh, not going to get the combo off. Does toss him, but the double damage from the Avalanche not hitting, and now the Purge is going to come in as well. Tiny should Ravage. Misses the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon going to stay alive. Tide in trouble. So is Tiny now. Queen of Pain doing what she does best and cleaning up.
Tiny making a poor... I'm not sure if it was a slightly short blink. It looked like he was trying to get behind the Shadow Demon. Unfortunately, the blink fell a little bit short and put a creep in between, a range creep in between them and in between Shadow Demon and Tiny, which basically screwed him up completely. Now, Invisibility Root on Crystal Maid. The Tornado goes through. Might try and pick up Queen of Pain. Oh, doesn't quite get the Frostbite. In fact, misses the Crystal Nova. She did get the Frostbite, actually, but it just grabbed her on the end part of her blink out of position. They get the kill anyway, and also bring down Dragonite to boot. Tiny rocking back up there and going to take her out with another blink strike attack. But yeah, it just looked like the blink, because I'm pretty sure they've kept the mechanic where if you click too far, you blink about 400 units too short, if that's correct.
Okay. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's 400. I know in Dota 1, I think it was like 80% of the range, so instead of like a 1k range blink, it was maybe 800 range. I'm not sure if they kept that mechanic though. I think that was just a Warcraft 3 limitation, and it had nothing to do with Dota 1. I think that was just part of the Warcraft 3 engine.
If it was 800 units, that would be 400, because it's 1200 base.
Okay.
Yeah. Roughly a Slardar stun range. But yeah, I don't know if they kept, like you said, it could just be a Warcraft 3 thing, and maybe they didn't keep. If anybody's up with mechanics, feel free to shout it out in the chat and let us know. Put us out of our misery, as it's going to plague our it's going to haunt our dreams until we figure this out. But right now, it's just, it will. It's just one of those things. I will go and find Nora after this and go, Nora, tell me, you know these things. Tell me, how does this work so I don't sound like a fool when I cast. Miranda, though, pushing very deep at the moment. No ward vision up as well. She feels relatively confident that she can get away. Got the level 3 lead. Has actually cut 1 level for the Moonlight Shadow, which I like, just because they've got a tight 100 team. The blink in, though, for Queen of Pain. Going to drop the Shadow Strike. Dropping the arrow into Queen of Pain. Does cop it in the face. Here comes the gush. Oh, Frostbite from behind. Very nice gank there from the Radiant side. Crystal Maiden coming from behind, also dropping a ward up on her way through. The Dire also realizing, okay, we need a ward there as well. And I'm surprised, actually, she got caught out, because, I mean, they've got a ward here as well. The Dire have that ward down, and a possible gank coming through. Shadow Demon trying to get the de-warding done. Does get hit by the Frostbite. Drops the Banish. Unfortunately, gets hit by a gush. A Frostbite gets brought down. And he got rid of the Dire, or the Radiant Ward rather, so that's good. But I'm surprised Queen of Pain got jumped. She should have known that there were attacks, there were gankers coming from this ward here, from the mid lane.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's SpaceMonkeys, they move around the map well, but StarsBoba just don't seem to be reacting quick enough, as they are going to do. Walk past another ward. I hear a gem sound, I believe. As someone picked up a gem, as Tiny blink in stun. Vengeful Spirit goes down. DK going to pop down the stun, but it's already a bit too late. DK just going to keep himself alive. DK looks to be rushing a pipe, in fact, but right now, where is that gem? I could have sworn I heard a gem being bought.
Korea, no?
No? Maybe not. Maybe I'm hearing things.
Maybe they sold it again, just to troll you. I mean, I wouldn't put it past this Tiny. Just buy a Blink Dagger, sell it immediately to troll the casters. Look what I've got. But Miranda pushing deep. This time,
there we
she
go.
doesn't... they got it now?
There is a gem.
Who's it on?
It's on no one. It's just sitting by the fountain at the moment.
Oh yeah, fair enough, I guess. Queen of Pain just doing some counter warding here, just looking for any kind of ward. They've also got, the Radiant actually have this counter ward up here as well, in the lane. We're worried about the lane ward. Die just going to move through into the mid lane, but at the moment it looks like they're trying to stick together because they're really worried, I guess, about getting people picked off. Of course, this Tiny is just pretty much, he's got his license to kill them. Lots of squishy intelligence heroes he can beat up, steal their lunch money, get fat. So they're just going to be very, very careful and hope that quick reflexes can save them. Although I honestly don't think it's going to happen. The Shackle Shot Mirage, she does get pinned down. Can they stack disables? There's the Purge. Mirana leaping away, dodging that stun once again. Pops her roll. Tiny came in, takes out Vengeful Spirit while we weren't watching. The Frostbite now. Crystal Maiden dropping the Freezing Bell. Going to pick up a kill as well. Shattered Demons down. Windrunner now in some serious trouble. Ravage is up, pops and misses again. That level 1 Ravage just shaving the asses of heroes as it looks like the Sunstrike's coming through. It doesn't matter. Tiny going to clean that up. Blow by blow. Too much firepower for them to deal with. He's also building... Oh no, that's Tiny on his items. Actually building that pipe. And Evoker does have the Silence building in Arganims right now. And SpaceMonkeys, they're looking incredibly dominant.
Yeah, they're playing really well. The skill is there, and so is the teamwork. They're coordinating really well. Maybe not that Ravage towards the end there, but by then it didn't even matter. Tiny, great initiations coming in from him. And Mirana going to have that Mad Style up now as well. And going to career himself that out. 22 minutes in, not bad farm from Mirana as taking out the T2 mid tower. They'll probably look to take out these side lane towers now as well and just slowly get further and further ahead as Mirana will find a regen rune at bottom.
I like the fact that they bought this GM purely to counter what this. Like, alright, so what's the next worst thing we can do to the Dire team? Let's just completely take away any map vision they have, and every time they step more than an inch out of the base, they're going to be wondering, is Tiny sitting in those bushes there? Is he up that hill, waiting to jump, to bend me over and have his way with me? It's pretty much it. It's like, pretty much just Tiny does whatever the hell he wants. He's got the 4-star now as well. Just blink, kill somebody. Blink, kill somebody every single damn time. The only person he can't pretty much instantly give at the moment would probably be this Dragon Knight. That would be the only person he can't kill instantly, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree on that. All the other heroes, if they do get hit by the combo properly with that level 2 grow now, will just instantly die. And, I mean, StarsBoba, they're grouped up at bottom, maybe expecting SpaceMonkeys to start pushing there, but SpaceMonkeys just taking their time with Mirana farming the jungle. Tidehunter going to be pushing away at top. Tide's just going for the pipe here, so SpaceMonkeys making sure they get up all those team fight utility items before they try to truly push inside the enemy bases. Tiny going to take out Tidehunter. No, Disruption comes on himself, going to keep himself alive for a bit longer, and now Tiny in a bit of trouble, forces himself out. Queen of Pain though has blinked in. They do have the pipe up on DK. That's really helping out StarsBoba there as the power shot not going to do enough damage. Ooh. Arrow was close, but it looks like StarsBoba going to not get away without any losses as Windrunner does get picked off, and now Vengeful Spirit, DK need to be careful.
I think this is right, just we just saw how much damage Queen of Pain, although Tiny's thinking about it. Here he goes, he's going to blink in. There we go, picking on Vengeful Spirit. She gets a stun off, but it's not enough. And she will get taken out. But I know, I agree definitely with holding off, waiting for those items, just, you know, going, alright, we've got map control, because I think if they try and push the base right now, you saw how much damage Queen of Pain did. It's just, it is a lot. It is a lot. And I feel if they press their advantage right, or try and press the advantage right now, they will suffer for it. Might as well just clean up the outer towers, but I think they should hold off on the racks push until they at least have that pipe up on the Tidehunter. Just because Queen of Pain, very dangerous still.
Yeah, I totally agree, and they're not even going for a mech at this point, so if they go in, get chipped away at Queen of Pain ulti, a Windrunner and Power Shot, they can't really heal up apart from the urn charges that the Crystal Maiden has. Arrow going to go in with a gush, hits Windrunner in trouble, there goes the Tiny, blink, toss, Windrunner will drop to a Tide Grab on the DK as well. DK, the pipe being popped, not going to keep him alive though, it's too much damage coming out. Crystal Maiden in Invoker.
I swear they're listening to this stream, just every time we say something, just do the opposite. Oh, they're not going to press the advantage. Yeah. So what do they do? Try and take a Rax as the GG gets called out by StarsBoba. But no, it looks like they worked out, but they said, you know, they coordinated well, got the pick off, landed that arrow, which of course can set up the fights very nicely. Tiny following up and just taking out heroes, picking them off one by one. Big Ravage coming through to finish things up, and they will take out this Rax as the GG has been called. 3D Frenzy calling out epic CM here. I don't know, this isn't Denny, this is not a Denny level CM, I would say. It's been a good CM, definitely a very good stock standard CM, but I'm not going to give it the epic tag. Not going to give it the epic tag.
9, 0, and 11, hitting some big ultis. I mean, it's getting close there. Hasn't gone for the Sanjanyata, but definitely played very well as Tiny looking to get some more kills. Oops, swap out from Vengeful Spirit. There's the Sunstrike. Windrunner will go down. CM, beyond godlike. Is that not epic enough for you?
No. For me, epic for me, it needs to be used properly. It is like the 11 out of 10 rating. It's got to be absolutely. It's got to be 1.8k crit on ES kind of epic. That was truly epic. This is good. I mean, this is really excellent, solid CM play, but just not epic. That's just me. That's just me. But I don't know. I feel honestly. That the thing that let StarsBoba down the most was the trialing. The fact that they just didn't have enough firepower to go toe-to-toe with the Diatri, and just continually those early ganks failing, left, right, and center, and just allowing SpaceMonkeys to get just such a strong early lead. And then once Tiny got that fast Blink Dagger and they got the gems, started taking out the wards, it was just very hard to recover from that, I feel, for StarsBoba.
Yeah, and Windrunner arrowed down in base. But yeah, I mean, StarsBoba, it just, things went badly from the start, and they're trialing, which is where they were looking to get the advantage going their way. They had the 3 Rangers. They were up against a Tidehunter and Tiny in the trial lane. I mean, the Radiant team had a lot of firepower, but the Dire team just had to play it safe and just whenever Tiny went in, just harass him in a safe manner, and they would have won the lane by just pure last hits as well as harass, but they just would have played a bit too aggressive, I feel.
Yeah, this is good analysis. They did every time they messed up. It was like every time something went pear-shaved, they were trying to gank somebody, and it just came down to the fact that Tiny and Tide were just naturally a little bit too beefcakey. They didn't really have the mass burst damage, especially not compared to the Radiant side. The Radiant side, alright, counter attack, drop some nukes, and you guys are pretty squishy. I mean, you're all intelligence heroes over there, and one really squishy agility hero, so you'll go down pretty quickly, and that's exactly what happened. But in the end, I've got to say, I don't think they were outdrafted. It was mostly just a case of being outplayed this match. But guys, you've been watching Spacemonkeys versus StarsBoba in the Gigabyte Dota Masters Tournament. I'm Triumphant Man. Casting with me has, of course, been Gods from Absolute Legends. And stay tuned, we will be back with another match as soon as possible.